Good morning, guys. Good morning. It's another beautiful day here in Honolulu, Hawaii. I am in paradise. I am in paradise. This morning, I want to talk about baptism. Is it mandatory to get baptized as a witness? Should it be mandatory to get baptized as a witness? Now, we all know when you're born and raised as a Jehovah's Witness, right? If you're not baptized by the age of 18, people are looking at you sideways. People are looking at you funny. They're asking you questions. Do you want to make it a paradise, right? You want to live forever, right? Then how come you're not baptized? Like, what's going on? What's delaying you from getting dunked in that water? Now, growing up in the 80s and 90s as a witness, right? Like I said, if you wasn't not baptized by your late teens, people would treat you a little funny. They'll treat you a little differently. Oh, he's not serious about this organization. Let's not hang out with him. It's funny, people would judge you based off if you are baptized or not as a Jehovah's Witness, right? Now, let's fast forward to 2024, just last year, right? One of the governing body leaders made an announcement that should have woke up, in my opinion, my personal opinion, it should have woke up every Jehovah's Witness. But one governing body leader went on stage and said, we don't want to be dogmatic. Who are we to, he's pretty much saying, who are we to judge? He said, people could wait to the very last minute. Outsiders could wait and see the signs of the Great Tribulation, and at the very last minute, repent and see that, this is Jehovah's true organization, and they can make it into the new system the very last minute. A governing body leader said this just last year, right? Now, that should have woken up every witness, because growing up as a witness, like I said, in the 80s and 90s, if you were not baptized by your late teens, people were looking at you funny. And now we have, fast forward to 2024, a governing body leader saying, oh, anyone can see the signs at the last minute and make it to paradise at the very last minute, no matter what type of lifestyle they were living. Huh? How is that? That is so offensive for Sarda. That's so offensive to every witness, every devout witness that has been slaving for this organization for over 40 years. That is so offensive. Because witnesses really had it in their brains, locked in, that if you were not a baptized witness in good standings during the Great Tribulation, then your ass was pretty much done. You was going to be bird food. You was going to be bird food, and your ass was done, right? So why is it important? If anyone could wait until the very last minute, see the signs, oh, Jehovah, this is a true religion, let me join aboard. If anyone could wait the very last minute, why is baptism necessary? Why are people still getting baptized? Better yet, why can't Jehovah's Witnesses associate with non-believers if those non-believers can wait to the very last minute? And I would assume that a lot of people, me? Nah, kill me. Even if the Great Tribulation, if this thing was real, which I know it's not, if paradise was coming, which I know it's not coming, but hypothetically speaking, right? Hypothetically speaking, if paradise was real, the Great Tribulation, all this was going to happen, kill me. I don't want to live in a world where it's only witnesses. I don't want to live in a world where I cannot be my authentic, real, genuine self. I don't want to live on that planet. I don't want to live there. I don't want to be there. But I know that if this was real, right? If paradise, the Great Tribulation, Armageddon, if all this was going to take place, a lot of people would be so scared. They would be, oh, okay, yeah, Jehovah is the true God. Let me join the board, right? So if all that is true, why can't Jehovah's Witnesses associate with non-believers now, if a governing body leader pretty much said, oh, anyone could just, see the signs, whether you're baptized or not, or obviously they won't be baptized, but anyone who's not a Jehovah's Witness, they can see the signs and join the board and make it to paradise. And I wonder, when this governing body leader was saying this, right? I wonder what was going on in Jehovah's Witnesses' minds. Because the first thing that came to me is, I said to myself, hold on. These men said they're not inspired by God, they're infallible, they make mistakes, right? But hold on, if you're not inspired by God, how can you give out information like that? Better yet, where's this information coming from if it's not coming from God? If you're not inspired by God, how do you have the right to say, oh, well, you could just wait till the very last minute and anyone could join, anyone could be in paradise at the very last? Where is this information coming from? If these governing body leaders are not inspired by God. And it's sad that when these governing body leaders, when they make announcements, when they come out with new light, new doctrine, most Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't question things. They just go with the flow. Somebody like me, I always tend to overthink things. And when things don't make sense, I would analyze it until it makes sense. I'll break it down, analyze it. And if I was a witness listening to all the new light, the new doctrines, I would be having a lot of questions right now. And one of the main questions I would be asking is, why are they encouraging people to join this religion? Why are Jehovah's Witnesses still knocking on doors? Why are they out near their carts, quote unquote, preaching, right? It's not real preaching, but to them, I give them the benefit of the doubt. So they're standing in front of the carts preaching, right? Why are they doing all this? Like I said, trying to recruit new members, trying to get new members to be a witness, get baptized and be a witness. Why are they doing all of this if you can wait the very last minute and then join the board? And as we know, being a witness it is an extremely boring life. There's nothing appealing about being a witness. So who would want to live a boring life up until the Great Tribulation starts and then be a witness? But the question remains, why are people getting baptized? If worldly people could wait the very last minute, if they could live their entire lives being as free as a bird, as free as possible, doing whatever they want to do, living their true, authentic lives, having, just pure freedom, who in their right mind would join a religion that's super strict, that dictates every aspect of your life? Who would want to get baptized until that, when you can have the complete opposite? When you can have total freedom, and then at the very last minute, oh, see the signs, oh, let me join the board at the very last minute, right? But if you are Jehovah's Witness watching this video, I really want you to ponder, where is all this new light coming from? Because deep down inside, that for the longest time, we all knew growing up as witnesses, like I said, in the 80s and 90s, they've been saying for the longest, once the doors are closed, once the preaching work is done, and Jehovah says, okay, that's it, we're done. Time to bring on a new system. Once that time comes, you can't, it's done. You couldn't turn around and say, oh, you know what, Jehovah's Witnesses was right all along. Let me be a witness. You couldn't do that before. Now this new governing body leader is saying something completely different, something that's not even in the Bible. It's not in the Bible, and it's not coming from God, because these men already stated that they're not inspired by God. So therefore, it's coming from men. It's coming from men. If you're making new rules, new doctrines, new light, and you're not inspired by God, that means this is being run by men. That means you are now obeying men. You're not obeying God. You are obeying men. And also, when you get baptized in this organization, you're getting baptized. Yeah, you're getting baptized to this organization. You're not getting baptized. You don't have an allegiance with God. You have an allegiance with this man-made organization. It shouldn't be mandatory for an individual to get baptized, to be dunked in water, to have a solid relationship with God. We were all created in God's image, were we not? Why do you need to be devoted to a religion in order to make it into paradise earth? See, this is one thing I never understood growing up, right? I did mention this a long time ago in one of my videos, a long time ago, over a year ago, right? I will never forget this experience. When I was preaching as a little kid, I must have been around the age, anywhere from 10 to 13. I was young, right? I was with this older, elderly sister preaching. And this guy that she was talking to, he said, hold on. He said, God's gonna kill me and my family? He said, I'm a hardworking man. I mind my business. I take care of my wife, my kids. I'm not bothering nobody. He said, I'm a good person. He said, why would God kill me just because I don't want to be part of that religion? He said, just because I don't believe in what you believe in. He said, God is going to destroy me? Now, I heard that as a little kid, right? And this is where a lot of witnesses suffer with cognitive dissonance. Because this man, he made perfect sense. Even as a young kid, I was hearing him out. I said, hold on, he's right. Eternally and internally, right? Deep down inside, I know he was right. I knew he was right. But I was brainwashed as a Jehovah's Witness to believe that, oh, if you don't serve Jehovah, if you're not part of this organization, then it doesn't matter how good of a heart you are, how good of a heart you have, or how good of a person you are. It doesn't matter. You're not a baptized witness, so you're dead. That's the mindset you have as a witness, right? And I never forgot that experience. That was over 20 years ago. Like I said, I was a little kid. And now that I woke up from this cult, I see it for what it is. And it's a joke. This organization really is a joke. Because witnesses really are, like I always say, witnesses are wasting their entire life for nothing. That's sad. Can you imagine lying to yourself day in and day out for the rest of your freaking life, thinking that paradise is right around the corner, when the only thing you have to look forward to is death? It's death. So, sorry guys, I got off topic real quick. But yeah, if you are, like I said before, if you are a witness watching this video, why is baptism important? Why is it mandatory if you could be out there sinning, killing people, eating people, raping people, robbing people, if you could be living a super sinful life and at the very last minute turn around and say, oh, Jehovah is the true God. Oh, the Great Tribulation is starting. Let me join the board. Why is it important to get baptized now? If you could be living your life, if you could be living your life the way that you want to live your life, why get baptized? Why is it mandatory for witnesses to get baptized now? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. You know, and I want witnesses to start thinking critically. Start thinking critically. Where is this information coming from if they are not inspired by God? This information is coming from mere men, not from God. This is a fear-mongering cult. And once you get over the fear, once you allow yourself to do some research, you wake up, you realize, you see this organization for what it is, right? And once you see it for what it is, there is just no going back. There's no going back. Anyway, guys, sorry I got off topic a few times in this video, but I just want people to start to think critically. See this organization for what it is. If things don't make sense, which they don't, but things don't make sense, you are allowed to ask questions. Remember, this is your life you're talking about. This is your life. When you leave this planet, you want to have no regrets. And the last thing you want to do is waste your entire life waiting for something, waiting for a paradise that you know deep down should have been here decades ago, a long time ago. They've been saying the end is right around the corner since the late 1800s for almost 150 years. Almost 150 years. So it's time for witnesses to start asking questions. It's time. It's time. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this video. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.